Like start at the beginning of the year.
If you start, let's just say in June, since we're in June, right?
Oh, okay.
Let's just say we're in June. So right now we're in Nebraska. So we're going to start in June. All the hives are back here. We bring them back here for the start of the honey flow. The honey flow season's from June until about the middle of August in Nebraska. So once the honey season's over, you got to pull the honey off, extract the honey, and then so then at that point, once you get done with that, then what you're doing is you're feeding hives, putting pollen patties on them, treating them to get them ready for the winter. So roughly end of October, November, then we ship them out to California. So then we go out to California. Obviously, in California it's warmer through the winter. So we store them. In California for the winter, pretty much, just like in pastures. Set them down. We go through them again. We make sure we feed them. We're treating them. We're putting pollen patties on them, putting barrels of pollen out, so they have sufficient nutrients through the winter. So then comes the end of January is when we pollinate the almond trees in California. So you have to have strong enough beehives in order to pollinate almond trees, because there's the growers and almond producers. You can't just put any beehive in there. It has to meet a certain criteria. So once you go through all your hives, you never get all of them in. There's always, some of them are not always as strong as others. So once you go through the almond season, which you usually put them in about the 1st to the 4th of February, they're in there until about the 5th of March. So then once they're done pollinating the almond trees, and then we take our bees from there to Texas. What we do in Texas is we make more hives. What you do is you make a new. So you have one hive, you take the brood and the honey and the bees, and you mix all that up, and then you put a new queen in every hive. So then we leave them down in Texas from roughly the middle of March until anywhere from June 1st or June 10th, depending on the year, if it's a COVID year or not a COVID year. We usually bring them back around the 1st to the 10th of June, and then we're back here in June for the honey season.